Can you score 40 or more in today's quiz? Let's find out. Hi folks, and welcome back to another quiz episode from the Pub Quiz. Today's quiz is 6 rounds with 75 questions, and it's 1 point for each correct answer. A score of over 40 is good, but a score of over 60 is excellent. Round 1 is your trivia round. 10 open questions. Good luck, let's crack on with the quiz. Question 1. Ben Grimm is the alter ego of which member of the Fantastic Four? He is the alter ego of the Thing. Question 2. Which US state was Dorothy from in The Wizard of Oz? She was from Kansas. Question 3. Who was the 46th President of the United States? That was Joe Biden. Question 4. Zagreb is the capital city of which country? It is the capital of Croatia. Question 5. David Harbour plays Jim Hopper in which Netflix TV show? The correct answer is Stranger Things. Question 6. Llamas are indigenous to which continent? They are from South America. Question 7. Golden Gate Park is an urban park in which US city? And that would be in San Francisco. Question 8. Which English singer and former One Direction boy band member had a global hit in 2022 with the song As It Was? And the correct answer is Harry Styles. Question 9. Angela Merkel was the Chancellor of which European country from 2005 to 2021? She was the Chancellor for Germany. And question 10. Hypertension is the medical term for which common condition? And that would be high blood pressure. Was round 1 easy enough? Well, round 2 is on modern culture. 10 mixed format questions. Let's see how you do. Question 11. What is the name of the AI chatbot launched by Elon Musk in 2023? Is it Bard, Grok or Truth? And the correct answer is Grok. Grok is a generative AI chatbot from Elon Musk's company xAI. It is integrated with X and features advanced reasoning, image generation and emotional voice responses. Question 12. What was the name of Beyoncé's 2023 concert tour and accompanying film? That was called Renaissance. Question 13. Which rapper headlined the Super Bowl halftime show in 2025? Was that Drake, Kendrick Lamar, or Travis Scott? It was Kendrick Lamar. Question 14. Which YouTuber launched the snack brand Feastables in 2022? And that was Mr. Beast. Feastables is a chocolate and snack company founded by Jimmy Donaldson. The business has a strong commitment to ethical sourcing and fair trade and generated sales of $250 million in 2024. Question 15. Which social media platform popularised the trend of short-form vertical videos? And the correct answer here was TikTok. Question 16. Which Banksy artwork famously shredded itself moments after being sold at auction? Was that called Better Out Than In, Love Is In The Bin, or Slave Labour? That was called Love Is In The Bin. In 2018, Banksy's Girl with Balloon partially shredded itself after selling for over £1 million. The stunt was a surprise even to the auction house, and the piece was later retitled Love Is In The Bin. Question 17. Which social media app, popular with Gen Z, allows users to post only once per day when prompted? That is called BeReal. BeReal prompts users at random times to post a front and back camera selfie, aiming for authenticity over curation, a hit for those tired of filters and perfection. Question 18. Which 2023 Apple product introduced a new era of mixed reality computing? Was that the Apple Vision Pro, iGlass, or AirPods Max 2? It was the Apple Vision Pro. Question 19. Which celebrity couple's 2022 courtroom battle became one of the most streamed trials in internet history? That was the trial of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Question 20. What is the name of Google's newest quantum computer chip unveiled in late 2024? Is it called Acorn, Sycamore, or Willow? It is called Willow. Launched in December 24, Willow solved a benchmark task in under 5 minutes, a calculation that would take the world's fastest supercomputer 10 septillion years to complete. Quickly moving on to round 3, it is your art and literature round. 10 mixed format questions. Question 21. Can you name the artist of this painting? Composition 2 in red, blue and yellow. And that was painted by Piet Mondrian. Question 22. Nick Carraway is the narrator in which classic 1925 American novel? He is the narrator in The Great Gatsby. Nick Carraway offers the reader an outsider's view of the mysterious J. Gatsby and the lavish, fractured world of 1920s New York high society. Question 23. Who wrote Beloved, a novel exploring the legacy of slavery in America? Was that Alice Walker, Maya Angelou, or Toni Morrison? It was written by Toni Morrison. Beloved won the Pulitzer Prize in 1988 and helped Morrison earn the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1993. Question 24. Who wrote 100 Years of Solitude? Was that Gabriel Garcia Marquez, Isabel Allende, or Pablo Neruda? That was Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Question 25. Where would you find the famous fresco, The School of Athens by Raphael? Would you find it in the Louvre, the Uffizi Gallery, or the Vatican? You would find it in the Vatican. The School of Athens is located in the Apostolic Palace in the Vatican City and features legendary philosophers like Plato, Aristotle, and Raphael even painted himself into the scene. Question 26. Which character in Romeo and Juliet delivers the line, "A plague o' both your houses"? And that was Mercutio. Question 27. How did the artist Vincent van Gogh commit suicide? Did he drown? Was it by gunshot? Or did he hang himself? He shot himself in the chest. Question 28. Which modernist writer wrote Mrs. Dalloway and To the Lighthouse? They were written by Virginia Woolf. Woolf pioneered stream of consciousness, writing exploring characters' inner thoughts in real time. Question 29. Where would you find the painting Avenue in the Rain by Child Hassam? Would you find it in the Guggenheim Museum, the Smithsonian, or the White House? You would find it in the White House. Question 30. Which Edgar Allan Poe poem begins with the line, "Once upon a midnight dreary"? And that is The Raven. How are we doing so far? Round 4 is your picture it round. 10 pictures, just guess who or what they are. Let's give it a go. Question 31. Can you name this footballer? And that is Mohamed Salah. Question 32. Can you name this actress? And that is Viola Davis. Question 33. Can you name this world leader? That is Friedrich Merz. Question 34. Can you name this singer? And that is Adele. Question 35. Can you name the film? And that is Mad Max Fury Road. Question 36. Can you name this dog breed? That is a Doberman Pinscher. Question 37. Can you name this film character? That is Jason Bateman from the film American Psycho. Question 38. Can you name this album? And that is Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA. Question 39. Can you name the artist? And that is Christ in the Storm on the Sea of Galilee by Rembrandt. And question 40. Can you name this historical person? And that is a photo of Charles Darwin. Moving on to round 5. How is your space knowledge? It's all about the cosmos. Question 41. What is the name of the asteroid belt located on the outer edges of our solar system? That is called the Kuiper Belt. Question 42. Which NASA space probe was the first to visit all 4 gas giants? Was that Pioneer 11, Voyager 1 or Voyager 2? The correct answer was Voyager 2. Voyager 2 was launched in 1977 and delivered cutting-edge data back to Earth, as well as the first ever close-up images of Uranus and Neptune. Question 43. What is a light year a measure of? Is that distance, speed or time? It is a measure of distance. Question 44. What is a massive colourful cloud of gas and dust in space commonly known as? And that would be called a nebula. Nebulae are where stars are born. These giant clouds of hydrogen, helium and dust can stretch light years. They glow in vibrant colours when energised by other nearby stars. Question 45. What is the name of the cosmic event thought to have created the universe? And that was the Big Bang. Question 46. What is the nearest galaxy to the Milky Way? Is that called Andromeda, Large Magellanic Cloud, or Whirlpool? And that would be the Andromeda Galaxy. The Andromeda Galaxy is about 2.5 million light years away, and it's on a collision course with the Milky Way, though not for another 4 billion years. Question 47. Which of these is not a type of star? Is that a brown dwarf, a red giant, or a white sprite? And that is a white sprite. Question 48. What is the term for a star system with 2 stars orbiting each other? and that is called a binary star system. Question 49. What is thought to lie at the very centre of a black hole? Would that be a neutron core, a singularity, or a wormhole? And that is a singularity. A singularity is a point of infinite density and zero volume, where space and time as we know them cease to behave normally. Question 50. What is the name of the enormous explosion that marks the end of a massive star's life? And that is called a supernova. Now, if you've made it this far in the quiz and you're enjoying the quiz, do me a favour, hit that like button and give it a thumbs up. It's the best way you can support my channel and any other small creators that you enjoy. If you do want to subscribe to the channel, I've put a QR code up on the screen and you can scan that with your phone. It will do it all for you. Right, back to the quiz. Round 6, and we finish with 25 general knowledge questions. Good luck, I'll see you at the end. Question 51. The city of Chicago sits in the bank of which lake? It sits on the banks of Lake Michigan. Question 52. Misophobia is the fear of what? Is that dentists, dirt and germs, or hospitals? The correct answer is dirt and germs. Question 53. Which English king was killed at the Battle of Bosworth Field? Was that Richard I, Richard II, or Richard III? It was Richard III. Richard III was the last English king to die in battle in 1485. His death marked the end of the War of the Roses and beginning of the Tudor dynasty under Henry VII. Question 54. What is the second book of the Bible? And that is the book of Exodus. Exodus tells the story of Moses leading the Israelites out of slavery, the 10 plagues and the parting of the Red Sea, as well as the giving of the 10 commandments. Question 55. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are characters in which Shakespeare play? Are they in Hamlet, Macbeth, or The Tempest? You would find them in Hamlet. Question 56. Raspberry Beret was a 1985 hit for which artist? And that was Prince. Question 57. What is entropy a measure of? Is that disorder, nuclear energy, or momentum? And it is a measure of disorder. In essence, entropy provides a way to understand why certain processes occur naturally and why systems tend to become more disordered and random over time. A bit like my sock drawer. Question 58. Who was the iconic leader and frontman of the band REM? And that was Michael Stipe. Question 59. Where was the secret laboratory site of the Manhattan Project located during World War II? It was located in Los Alamos in New Mexico. It was chosen for its remote location and became the central hub of the Manhattan Project, where top scientists developed the world's first nuclear weapons. Question 60. In what country is the city of Alexandria located? Is that in Egypt, Morocco or Tunisia? You would find it in Egypt. Question 61. In which South American country would you find the Nazca lines? You would find them in Peru. Question 62. Which composer is celebrated for his Symphony No. 5 and Symphony No. 9 in choral? Is that Bach, Beethoven or Brahms? And that composer is Beethoven. Beethoven's Fifth Symphony is famous for its dramatic four-note opening, while his Ninth Symphony broke new ground by including vocal soloists, a chorus, and famously set the poem Ode to Joy to music. Question 63. What is the base ingredient of an arrabbiata pasta sauce? And the base ingredient is tomato. Question 64. Who did the British fight at the Battle of Balaclava? Was that the French, the Ottomans or the Russians? They fought the Russians. The Battle of Balaclava took place in 1854 during the Crimean War. It's most famous for the charge of the Light Brigade, a tragic cavalry assault immortalised by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Question 65. In which year did this TV show, The X-Files, first air on US television? Was that in 1993, 96 or 99? It first aired way back in 1993. Question 66. Which famous scientist won the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1921 for his work on the photoelectric effect? And that was Albert Einstein. Einstein didn't win a Nobel Prize for his theory of relativity, but for proving that light acts like particles in the photoelectric effect, a breakthrough that helped launch quantum theory. Question 67. Who is the current Prime Minister of France as of July 25? And that is Francois Bayrou. Question 68. Which Scottish chef presented the TV series Hell's Kitchen? And that was Gordon Ramsay. Question 69. In which year did Abraham Lincoln give the Gettysburg Address? Was that in 1776, 1863 or 1918? He delivered it in 1863. When Lincoln delivered the Gettysburg Address, he honoured fallen soldiers and redefined the purposes of war, all in just 272 words, making it one of the most powerful speeches in US history. Question 70. A megalodon is an extinct prehistoric species of what? Would that be a crocodile, a hippopotamus or a shark? And the correct answer is a shark. Question 71. What is the official currency of Mexico? And that would be the peso. Question 72. Which ship was famously found adrift in the Atlantic Ocean in 1872 with no crew on board? Was that the Marie Celeste, the Queen Anne's Revenge, or the Golden Hind? It was the Marie Celeste. The Marie Celeste was discovered drifting near the Azores, completely intact but with no crew. The lifeboat was gone, the crew's belongings were untouched, and meals were still set on the table. Question 73. What nationality was the artist Paul Gauguin? He was French. Question 74. Which actor played the role of Tyler Durden in the film Fight Club? Was that Brad Pitt, Ed Norton, or Jared Leto? It was Brad Pitt. Question 75. Frank Lloyd Wright was a famous name in what field? Was that architecture, astronomy, or psychology? He was a famous architect. Frank Lloyd Wright famously designed the Guggenheim Museum in New York, which opened in 1959. His designs were decades ahead of their time. And that concludes today's quiz. I'll leave you with one final bonus question worth 2 bonus points on the screen. Remember to post your score in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, show some love, smash that like button, and why not try out these other quizzes here? Bye for now.